Обучение вокалу, уроки вокала, как научиться петь. Сотни раз в день эти слова набирают в поисковой системе совершенно разные люди. Это совсем не значит, что они хотят научиться петь. Многие прекрасно поют сами, многие уже учатся. Такой запрос делает и вокальный педагог, и родители ребенка, желающие найти преподавателя вокала для своего чада. Всех их объединяет одно – интерес к обучению пения. И сегодня я покажу своими глазами, как у меня проходит урок и с какими трудностями придется мне столкнуться. Интересно, есть ли у меня шанс стать певцом, или же медведь на ухо наступил? Но обо всем по порядку. Сейчас я направляюсь на свое очередное занятие по вокалу. Вы, наверное, подумали, а при чем здесь вокал? А вот, совсем скоро вы уже все узнаете. Hi Rachel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Take a seat.
Thanks. Hey Rachel, I actually have just a few questions, general questions about singing before we start the lesson.
Sure.
I was just wondering if singing is something that can be done by anyone. Like, is anyone basically capable of singing, or is it just something that certain people are endowed with? Just really curious, like, to know if that's something that anyone can do.
In general, I'd say most people can learn to sing. Some people will learn it really quickly. They've just got the right skills and the right attitude. Other people may take them a lot longer to learn to sing, and that's because they may not have the natural skill. It may be that they don't have enough time to put into it, or they just find it, they get very nervous, or they find it very, emotionally difficult. So yeah, I'd say most people can learn, but just depends on how long it will take them to get there.
One of the most common difficulties while singing is breathing, because most people don't know how to breathe properly and they run out of air when they breathe. So are there any very useful techniques which help to tackle that problem?
You're right, breathing is a very important part of singing. When people first start out, they don't realise how important breathing is. They sometimes run out of breath, like you said, or they find it challenging. The best thing you can do is to take a big breath in. So some people are just taking really shallow little breaths, and they're not actually getting enough air in to help them sing long lines. So that's one helpful hint. The main thing for singing, though, is to take a nice big low breath rather than a high breath. So high breath will go up like this, but for singing we actually want the air to go low, where all our muscles are for singing. And so that's the main piece of advice for learning singing and breathing, is to take a nice big and low breath.
Based on my experience, and I heard from many guys, that when they try to sing, for them the most difficult part is to try to sing like high notes. Is it common, and probably what are the best techniques one can follow to kind of overcome that problem? And also just wondering, in overall, how long does it take to develop a good voice, say if you're a beginner, for a guy, of course?
I think a lot of guys do find it hard to sing up high. A lot of new music coming out has guys singing higher and higher in their range, so that's also a good question. In terms of how long it takes, everyone is actually quite different. Some people pick things up very quickly, like a challenge. Other people take a bit longer. So I'd say, depending on if they start as a beginner, it can take 3 to 6 months or even a year of hard work. Someone who's trained before, it can be a lot quicker, but it really does depend on the person.
When people come to your lessons, just wondering, what are the most common challenges when they try to undertake different singing exercises? Is it the same with all people, or there are specific differences between some sort of type of singers?
The exciting thing about learning to sing is everyone comes with different backgrounds, so everyone has their own individual challenges, so that's quite exciting because we get to pick apart what people are good at and what they find difficult. The main things people find tricky are learning to sing notes right in tune and to sing them in a controlled way, so that what they want to happen with their voice does happen. And so coordinating and balancing different elements of singing is probably the most challenging.
I was also just wondering, who usually comes to these kind of lessons? Is it mainly singers and people from the arts industry, or there are some other people from other areas of life as well? And how these sort of lessons can be beneficial to those people?
Well, learning to sing is such a great skill to have. It's something that people get a lot of personal enjoyment from, and they just feel great about themselves and can express themselves. And for other people, it's really for a career. They're learning to sing to make a living. In terms of people in the arts industry, it's great for confidence and good clear communication skills to learn singing, but it also gives you that advantage over other people who may be in the industry and more opportunities to say, hey, I can sing, and that's always desirable. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise to begin to prepare ourselves for singing. So get a nice low breath down where the diaphragm is and all the muscles around the ribs. Get a nice low breath in and feel it fill up. Nice and low in the body, and breathe out. Let's do that. In. It's good. And out. Alright, this time we're going to hold a long S. Breathe in. And an S. That's good. Nice even control of the breath, like we would have in singing. Nice and consistent, only letting out exactly the amount of air you need. That's good. Keep going to the very end till everything's out. Nice, that's great. That's great. Really good. Excellent. So it's a really good stretch for your whole range to get everything moving. That's good. That's good. We'll do a nice high one and all the way down. Yeah, excellent. It's a really nice smooth connection from that high. That's right. And we'll do some sirens going. Great, that's really good. And from low to high. That's excellent, that's great. Good for nice and relaxed in the jaw. So really quick express warm up there and movements through your whole range. That's good.
I close both blinds and turn away. Sometimes solutions aren't so simple. Sometimes goodbye's the only way. And the sun will set for you. The sun will set for you.
Thanks, Rachel. I think it was a really good lesson. And I'll see you next week.
Great, see you then.
Thanks. See you.
Bye.
Для воспитания поставленного певческого голоса, который нужен в первую очередь для классического вокального репертуара, одного желания ученика и педагога недостаточно, даже если педагог обладает нужными знаниями. Без определенной природы голоса успеха не добиться. Следовательно, далеко не все, кто хочет научиться петь, потенциально смогут это сделать. Но пение пению рознь. Петь в опере не то же самое, что петь в рок- или поп-группе. Кстати, на концерте одной из известных групп я побывал и получил заряд позитивных эмоций. Взглянем моими глазами. Всем привет! Сегодня намечается очередное занятие по вокалу. С моего первого занятия уже прошло более полугода. Ну что ж, посмотрим, что скажет преподаватель, есть ли у меня прогресс в этом деле. Итак, вперед! Hi Rachel, how are you?
Hi.
It's been about 6 months since our first lesson. And I guess, can you just tell me what's the difference between our lessons when we first began and our current lessons, what we're going to focus on today, and what's the difference in the way we work right now?
So when you first began, we were really looking at increasing your flexibility and getting you on top of your basics of technique. So looking at your breathing and balancing that with your vocal techniques. Now what we're doing is we've increased your range. So we're going to work across a larger range of notes from low to high, and we're going to look at moving through that range evenly with good tone all the way through, and make sure that you have good control over that. And then we'll work this into songs at the end and see how that goes.
And I guess compared to those lessons that I started taking 6 months ago, what do you think were the main improvements that I've had over this period of time, and what essentially has changed in my training, the way we run these lessons?
So at the moment we started with very simple patterns. Now what you're working on is more complex skills and patterns, so that's looking at more range, higher and lower notes, as well as more power in your voice, so being able to do loud and soft, those kinds of things. Trying to stay in control of that pitch every interval. I'll do it with you. Ready? Breath in. That's starting to loosen.
Don't fall asleep too soon.
Конечно, за полгода, да и даже за год занятий вокалом петь идеально не научишься. Но, как говорится, учение и труд все перетрут. Буду стремиться к лучшему.
When I look at my life, how the pieces fall into place, it just wouldn't rhyme without you. When I see how my path seemed to end up before your face, the state of my heart, the place where we are, was written in the stars.
Hey Rachel, thanks for the lesson, and I really enjoyed it, and I see you next week.
Yep, see you next week.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Ну вот и закончилось мое занятие. Как говорится, нет предела совершенства. Я буду и дальше продолжать заниматься вокалом, потому что петь — это просто замечательно. Увидимся вновь скоро в следующей серии.